Greetings! Welcome to and/or welcome back to my page. I am Fire Lotus the Witch, and today we're going to go over land spirits and a couple of things that you can do to start creating that relationship and building that relationship with them. But before you do, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon. That way you get all the notifications of when I post videos and/or go live. So, land spirits. Now, one of the most important things you need to realize, excuse me, when it comes to land spirits is they are not like your ancestors. They are not like working with deities. They're all going to be different. They will have different personalities. They may have absolutely nothing to do with you. And if so, it is not you. It is them. It is okay. You've done nothing wrong. With that being said, how do you go about and what are the benefits of working with your spirits of the land? For one, you got to honor them, especially if you're a gardener, if you do any activity outside, if you have livestock, if you have bees or anything like that. Working with your land spirits, you can benefit from that so much, it's not even funny. Not to mention, we all need to be respectful. So, number one thing, introduce yourself. Go out, also leave an offering. I'm going to get to that because a lot of people want to know what you can do as an offering. For one, you're going to want to introduce yourself. When I go to any property that I will be doing any type of workings on, I will straight up introduce myself as like, hi, I'm Fire Lotus Witch. I'm Fire Lotus the Witch. You know, these are my intentions here. And then I normally leave a offering of tobacco, spirit, coffee, any type of mead or any type of spirits or anything like that. I've left change, as in like money. It just depends on the area, the environment, and the feel of that. Now, how do you go about this? Introduce yourself. After that, find a specific location that you will put offerings. Now, with that being said, you're going to have to build this relationship up, and you're going to have to be respectful. So in other words, you need to talk to these people like you were talking to your elders or like you were talking to your deities. You need to show them respect. And no, I'm not talking about like people on TikTok talk to their deities. That'll get you bitch slapped. Some of them could come off as tricksters. Some of them may be tricksters. You'll know that when you start working with this. Now, with that being said, obviously, if you are in Canada or in America, we obviously also have natives, spirits, and energy all over the place. Be extremely, extremely respectful with that. Interesting fact. If you believe that they are near, do not burn dragon's blood because it is extremely harsh to native spirits. I don't know why. I've heard it and I've always stuck by it. And you need to burn some type of herb after that that is sweet. Whatever that is, you decide. But it needs to be sweet. So, with that being said, when approaching the land spirits, there are going to be all different types of energy. Whether that's, you'll figure that out when you kind of go into it. But you've got to be respectful. Now, I've had multiple people try doing this, and they kind of got upset because there was no response. That's okay. Like I said, you're going to have to build this relationship up. And at the end of the day, there are some spirits that just want absolutely nothing to do with us. That's perfectly okay too. We have to respect these boundaries. But you're going to want to start also with the offerings. It could be fruit. Specifically, what I like to do is anything that nature in and itself can also benefit from is what I'll leave out there. With that being said, watch out with using salt on properties. If you add too much salt to an exposed patch of soil, you can get to the point to where it's called razzing, to where absolutely nothing will grow there because there's too much salt. There have even been historical cases back in the Middle Ages where when they were trying to get people out of the castles, they would actually razz the land around it. That way nothing would be able to grow and they'd eventually starve and or forfeit. The same thing applies to that. So look into like eggshells, corn flour, cornstarch, multiple other things that is actually very beneficial to the soil. So definitely take that into account too. Also, start researching what type of animals you have in your property. See what you can do to help them out, whether that's making little bug motels or, you know, specific locations where you're stacking wood away from your house, but nature in itself and all the animals around that can benefit from that. Specifically what we do with our property is I call it wilding, which is basically we kind of let it get very, very wild, but we also tend to have more wildlife in our property versus the properties around us because we came to the country. We came into their environment, not the other way around. So I like to leave it like that. Obviously, everybody's going to have their own opinions on that, and that's okay, but this is how I do it. With that, also incorporate bioregionalism into your practice. Easy search online. It's basically the study of the animals and the environment in all seasons for an entire year, if not longer, to figure out what is completely normal for your area and what is abnormal for your area. Perfect example. If I randomly light a candle and ask for a message and I see a red bird fly past my window, well, if I have a flock and or a nest of them close by, that's a bird that I see on my property all the time versus seeing a bird that I'm not used to seeing. And or animals acting out of normal behaviors can all be signs. All of this, though, will go into that. Collect when you start planting flowers necessarily instead of getting the ones from like Lowe's and Home Depot. Do a little bit of research and see what flowers that you can, wildflowers that you can naturally find seeds for and grow them. Grow things to benefit this. Now, doing all these other things before you even reach out to that spirit may gain respect with them. But yeah, just slowly, you're slowly going to have to build that up by slowly giving them offerings, not necessarily just to get them to work with you, but just to acknowledge that, hey, I'm here. And if at any point in time you would like to interact, let me know. And over time, just like the spiritual 30-day challenge with building your connection with your ancestors, the same thing, repetitiveness. And then try to start working with the crows. I'm in the early processes of that where I've been feeding them. They regularly come out. We're growing and bonding. There are two other birds that also I feed in the morning times. We're bonding because now they're expecting food. That's a way of building this relationship. Obviously, do your research on what you should feed them and what you shouldn't feed them. But giving back to the environment and the wildlife around you is a really, really great way of actually working with your land spirits. There is going to be a part 2 to this, not a part 2, but another video on this because I'm trying to keep them short, which should be posted very soon. I'm also going to do a few more videos, hopefully today. So yeah, let me know in the comments on some more details that you would like me to mention in some videos. Maybe I'll make them a little bit to like 10 minutes long. But yeah, let me know in the comments of what type of videos you would like to see. And until then, I hope you're all having an amazing day.